Hello guys, this is Nilo, and today I'm going to be showing you guys pretty much how to remove the rear disc brake on a Rincon 680. I will also be showing you guys how to remove the rear differential and how to rebuild the rear differential. Now I have already done most of the removing everything. I just want to show you guys a few things that helped me get this project done. Now, you will have to remove pretty much everything on this end. It's only going to be the nut that holds the axle on the outside right here, and then which is going to be on this end. So pretty much the nut that goes here. Then you remove your hub, and then you remove this shock, and then you can just once you remove both sides, these two are connected, so you're gonna want to race them both at the same time. Now I was able to get away with not having to remove the top A-arm, but I do have to remove this one, so I was able to get access to the nut, and then I just put a wrench here, held it in place, got it out that way, and essentially that allowed me to get the top differential or final drive bolt. The bottom ones were fairly easy. I removed the bottom A-arms, and after that I was able to pull it back a little bit. I also had to do the brake bracket, and once you pull it back a little bit, you'll realize that the axle itself, which is over here, will be able to come out. Once you pull this out, you're gonna find that the brake, this is gonna be hooked up to the back of your, or actually the front of your final drive, and your disc is gonna be screwed into these 5 screws here. See, it's gonna be an Allen. You're gonna want to unscrew those and take your brake disc off so that you can pull your final drive back this way. That is pretty much how you get the final drive out, and also how you remove the brake disc off of a Rincon 680. Okay guys, I'm back. So essentially, when you get the final drive out, this is what you're gonna find. You're gonna find this is gonna end up being hooked up something like this. I just believe this way right here actually, and you're gonna find this in there, and this is gonna be in here right here. So there's a few other videos out there on how to get these out of here. Essentially, you're gonna need a special tool. Personally, I didn't have that special tool to remove the nuts in there. I used a 1.5 inch square pipe, put some tape on it. Had to use a huge wrench to leverage it, get it out. But essentially, you can get the job done without the tool. It's just a little harder. As you can see, my the inside of my spindle here, pinion, got a little bit of metal chunks in there from the pinion bearing, so I'm going to be going through and cleaning all this up. But essentially, I already took all the bearings out. I want to show you guys something I did here, especially for the Rincon 680, to be able to get this pinion needle bearing out without really having to weld stuff in there or anything. So as you guys can see in here, there's a hole right here for the little push pin that goes in there, or a ring that they use, and that kind of makes it hard for it to pull out. So what I went ahead and did, and I saw somebody else on YouTube did this for a TRX 300, so just kind of like apply the same principle to this bike, and it worked as well. So essentially, you will be damaging a little bit of the, or actually cutting through, I should say, of the bearing stop, but you still have a lot of contact here for your seal. So long as the seal has a lot of contact, you're good, because that's really what keeps everything in, all the fluid in there anyways. And so long as your bearing stops still there, you should be good. But essentially, I drilled the hole starting on this side, and I went in from here, just a pointer. I went in from this way. I went in right in this, between this gap, made a hole in there. Then I came around from this way, made a hole in here, which allowed me to come right at the back of this, the bearing that was in here. I was able to come right from behind it, and with a punch and a hammer, I was able to hammer it out. Now here is the #1 most important thing about this whole procedure. Once you've gotten the hole drilled out and everything, it is extremely important that you heat this up with a torch. Go to Walmart, get you a $20 torch, one of the big blue ones, or you could even use one of those green fat tanks. They both work. I use the blue ones though, because that's just what I would use. That's what I used for here, and it worked pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and heat this up on this area here. You're gonna heat all of this up, this little portion here that we see here, between right around here and here. We're just gonna have the torch and just constantly go back and forth there. Now you're gonna do this for 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want to shortcut this. So here's the other area, and we're gonna go switch back and forth within those 2 minutes. Can do like 10-15 seconds here, 10-15 seconds here, and switch back and forth, and do it until you've gotten this area here and this area here very hot. You want it to be warm when you grab it here. I wasn't using gloves or anything. It's just aluminum, so this area stayed pretty hot while here was only so warm. But essentially, you want to heat this up as much as you can, and then once you get there, you'll put the punch through here, and then you'll hammer it. And then it'll essentially, once you get it set right, it'll just push through. And you want to have somebody ideally pushing down on the ring. Once you hit it with the punch a little bit, it'll slide out just enough to where you won't need their help anymore. But yeah, that's how I got that needle bearing out. Now once you get that needle bearing out, you can have a beer or two, because you've already completed the hardest part of this entire project. I believe that's actually why most of you guys will watch this video, because you guys will get stuck right there. Or maybe you guys just I couldn't find the video of somebody else that had done it on the 680, so this is kind of why I wanted to make this video, so that the 680 owners out there can tackle this project with confidence, knowing that you guys already see what's in here. The push and pull the bearings in and out of this thing's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you keep your washers and whatnot, and don't lose these. Keep them there. Clean everything up real good before you assemble it. I'm putting this bearing out, I'm putting new bearings on everything. I already took all the bearings out from this one, obviously, but this one's still gonna push out the steel too. But this thing's getting all new bearings, all new seals. And I'll make a video here shortly to show you guys how far ahead I've gotten, and I'll make a video once it's all done. This is what it looks like.
You put new diffs in?
Yeah. This is what it looks like once it's fully assembled. And that's pretty much it.